everyone, welcome back to my channel. A troubled woman finally meets her long-lost half-brother. However, the siblings' shared fear of abandonment leads them to indulge in strange temptations. Grab some popcorn and get comfy. Let's dive right into it. One night, Charlotte attends the wedding of her best friend, Mart, and her new husband, Marco. Charlotte makes a speech during the reception, thanking Mart for being part of her life and for welcoming her into their family. Because it was also the reason she met Daj, her boyfriend, who's also Marte's brother. She also welcomes Marco into her and Marte's family. Later at the party, Marco presents Mart with an elegant family heirloom necklace. While Charlotte feels genuine happiness for her friend, she quietly masks her own jealousy. Afterward, the two friends get drunk outside the venue. When Marco and Dag find them, Mart complains about seeing her brother kiss her best friend. Charlotte teases that she has a brother from Mart too, but Mart reminds her that she's never met him. As the party continues, Charlotte secretly takes the necklace Marco gave his new bride from the gift table before rejoining the dance floor. Later, Dag spends the night at his girlfriend's house, who asks him to stay. He admits that he also wants to stay, though they know that can't happen. The following day, Charlotte sees Dag off as he begins his tour as a football player, putting distance between them. Her next few days continue as usual until a man named Henrik visits the studio. This scares Charlotte, so the man asserts that she and her mother should leave him alone. After he storms off, Mart arrives and asks who he is. Charlotte reveals that he's her brother before running out to chase after him. However, when she exits the building, Henrik is already gone. Charlotte later shows family photos to Mart, admitting that she found her brother in the city. Sensing Charlotte's reluctance to discuss it further, Mart changes the topic, complaining about their dancing attire and joking that it's making her infertile when she wants to have kids. That afternoon, Charlotte visits her ailing father in the hospital. After her mother leaves, Charlotte steps out to get coffee from the vending machine. When she returns, she finds her father, Eric, struggling to breathe. He asks for her mother, and upon learning that Anna left, he begins to sob. Seeing him this way brings Charlotte to tears, sympathizing with his loneliness. Soon, Eric falls back to sleep, but Charlotte can't help but reflect on her own isolated life. Desperate to connect with someone, she visits Ellen, Henrik's wife. Henrik is unhappy to see Charlotte, but Ellen, already aware of who she is, invites her inside. Charlotte uses the time to get to know her half-brother's family and tell them about Anna, the parent she shares with Henrik. Ellen shows more interest in learning about her husband's family than Henrik does, though he still joins them as Charlotte talks about Anna working on her master's degree in literature. When the conversation falls silent, Charlotte asks when Anna separated from Henrik's father. She assures him that their mother mourned not getting custody of him. Ellen explains that Henrik believes Anna abandoned him. This creates an awkward tension, so Ellen assures Charlotte it's not her fault that their mother lied to her. Henrik excuses himself to return to work, but Ellen encourages him to take Charlotte out for drinks afterward. Charlotte waits in the lobby while Henrik attends his late meeting. Afterward, he excuses himself, saying he still has much to do and can't go out for drinks. He promises to do it another time, but the disappointment on Charlotte's face makes him feel guilty. Ultimately, Henrik takes Charlotte to a bar where they quietly drink. Overhearing a group of co-workers planning a celebration, Henrik suggests they join them to liven up the night. They join the group's small office party. When it becomes boring, Henrik instructs Charlotte to pretend to drunkenly slam her head on the table so they can leave. Though confused, Charlotte complies, and the concerned reactions of the others allow them to leave without explanation. The strange situation makes the siblings laugh, finally shedding the awkwardness between them. They head to another bar to continue drinking and getting to know each other. Since he's never met her father, Charlotte takes Henrik to the hospital to meet Eric. The ailing man is asleep when they arrive, and seeing the man his mother left him for deeply hurts Henrik. Despite this, the siblings bond over a midnight snack later at Henrik's home. However, this becomes something more when Henrik wipes his sister's lips, sparking an idea in both their minds. The moment is interrupted when Henrik's son wakes up and calls for him. Watching Henrik tend to his son, Charlotte reminds herself how wrong her thoughts were. The following day is normal for Charlotte until Henrik visits her apartment at night. Without exchanging words, he kisses her, then pulls back, realizing what he'd just done. Feeling the connection she's longed for, Charlotte kisses him back. With this, they give in to their desires. Afterward, Charlotte carries on through the next day as if nothing happened. While in the hospital, Anna mentions that the nurses told her she visited her father with someone the other night. Charlotte admits she was with Henrik, and hearing his name makes Anna silent. On another day, the siblings have lunch together in a distant restaurant. Charlotte pretends they're a newlywed couple, and Henrik plays along. As she retrieves makeup from her purse, Henrik notices the necklace she stole from Marte's wedding. Even though she admits to the theft, Henrik continues their act and pretends it's his gift to her. Encouraged, Charlotte wears it. The two spend the entire day together and even check into a hotel with a pool. As they play around in the water, Henrik shares that he actually found her and their mother when he was younger. He admits he was jealous of her that day before leaning in to kiss her. That evening, they share a bed in their hotel room, further deepening their unusual relationship. After this trip, Charlotte returns to work the next day and showers in the dance studio. Mart joins her in the dressing room, noticing how happy her friend is. Charlotte admits she feels like things are finally falling into place, and Mart is glad to see her this way. Her mood shifts when she receives a panicked voicemail from her mother after work. Charlotte rushes to the hospital and learns that her father has passed away. Charlotte remains stoic, struggling to understand her feelings about losing her alcoholic father. Seeking comfort, she visits Henrik at his office while he's working late. She shares that Eric is dead, and her brother comforts her as she finally lets out her tears. The next morning, Anna and Mart visit Charlotte's apartment to check in on her and plan Eric's funeral. Mart mentions that Dag intends to cancel the rest of his tour to be with his girlfriend, but Charlotte thinks there's no point. While her mother plans the funeral, Charlotte reveals that her half-brother is there too. She urges Anna to see him, but Anna packs up and leaves instead. The awkwardness prompts Mart to leave as well, and Charlotte promises to call her later to explain. Eventually, at Eric's wake, Anna sings a song in his memory. Overwhelmed, Charlotte hides in the bathroom, where Mart joins her and finally asks about her brother. Charlotte tries to dodge the topic, but Mart notices her missing necklace on her friend. Fearing this will end her only friendship, Charlotte breaks down. Mart embraces her, assuring her that she forgives her. Once Charlotte calms down, however, Mart takes back her necklace and leaves. Alone again, Charlotte heads to Henrik's home later, only to hesitate upon seeing him with his family. She tries to move on from these heartbreaks and soon returns to work, preparing her students for a recital. To her surprise, Anna visits after class ends to ask Charlotte for help meeting Henrik. This engages Charlotte, who is offended that Anna finally decides to be a mother after barely being there for her throughout her life. Anna defends herself, saying she tried her best, but Charlotte insists it wasn't good enough. Anna breaks down in tears, recounting how she was young when she got married and had Henrik. She chose to leave him despite the pain, to start her life again. Having Charlotte made her think she had a new beginning, but she still couldn't handle being a mother. Now, she begs Charlotte to let her meet her son to make up for the past. Charlotte takes her time to decide and ultimately brings Henrik and his son to Anna. This makes Charlotte feel like she finally has a normal family. The next day, she takes Henrik and her nephew to the studio to play. To her surprise, Henrik uses this opportunity to tell her he's leaving Ellen. As they leave, Marte's mother passes by and announces that her daughter is pregnant. This surprises Charlotte, as her best friend hasn't been speaking to her. Later, Henrik and his son spend the night at Charlotte's apartment. Once his son is asleep, Henrik approaches Charlotte, though she shies away from his touch. Despite her initial hesitation, they still end up in bed together. On another night, Charlotte musters the courage to visit Mart, who acts as if everything is normal. Charlotte brings up Marte's pregnancy, wondering if that's really what her friend wants. This surprises Mart, so Charlotte jokes that she can't imagine her being a mother. Noticing that she offended her friend, Charlotte dismisses her remark and offers to be the child's godmother. Marte's silence shows her dislike of the idea, so Charlotte excuses it by saying she's been acting strangely because she's confused with her life. Mart snaps at her, saying Charlotte has always acted recklessly and uses not knowing what she wants as an excuse. She's tired of watching over Charlotte when she really isn't part of their family. This breaks Charlotte's heart, though she admits she's been waiting for Mart to say this, knowing deep down it was how she felt. One day, Charlotte is surprised to find Dag at her apartment with Henrik. She acts happy to see her boyfriend, and the trio spend the night catching up over drinks. When Dag prepares to leave later, Charlotte discreetly explains that Henrik is living with her because he's going through a divorce. Dag believes her, sparing her from revealing more. Henrik, however, is upset that Charlotte hasn't broken off with her boyfriend yet. When she tries to hug him, he pushes her away. They end up fighting until Charlotte calls Henrik insane, causing him to back off. She apologizes for her words, but Henrik hits her in anger. This encounter finally makes Charlotte acknowledge their toxic relationship. However, her fear of abandonment compels her to continue spending the night with Henrik. Driven by desperation, she asks him never to leave her. Instead, he takes this as his cue to leave, unwilling to fully commit to their strange relationship. Life continues, and Charlotte's recital with her class happens the next day. Dancing with her students makes her feel alive, but this is shattered when she watches the kids run to their parents afterward, seeing their proud and happy faces. As she prepares to leave work later, Dag visits to spend time with her. However, she notices his lack of affection, making her fear that he knows something. Dag spends the night at her place, but Charlotte still misses Henrik. She checks her phone for messages from Henrik in the middle of the night, and when there are none, she goes to the bathroom. When she steps out, she finds Dag with her phone, having read her messages to Henrik. Disgusted to discover their true relationship, Dag confronts her. Unable to defend herself, Charlotte tries to grab her phone back, but Dag accidentally hits her. He apologizes and calmly asks for an explanation, but Charlotte doesn't know how to explain. Instead, she cries and apologizes. Hurt, Dag leaves, ending another of the few relationships she had. Having lost everyone she loved, Charlotte eventually moves away and starts taking classes to pursue a new career. She meets new friends and finds happiness in her new life. One day, she chances upon Mart with her infant son on the train. This reconnects the friends after months of separation, though things remain awkward and different from their previous closeness. Days later, Charlotte helps her mother pack as she moves out to be with her new boyfriend. Losing her childhood home makes Charlotte reminisce about simpler times. Charlotte becomes uneasy when her mother mentions that Henrik will pick up a box of old toys for his son. Despite this, she volunteers to wait for him, allowing Anna to leave and prepare for her new life. Before parting ways, Charlotte expresses her love for her mother, which Anna reciprocates. Soon, Henrik arrives at the house and finds his sister alone. With unresolved feelings between them, they settle for a casual embrace, choosing to ignore their troubled history and move on with their lives. So, that's Charlotte's journey, a tale of love, loss, and the complicated ties that bind us. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below, and if you enjoyed this story, don't forget to like and subscribe for more. Until next time.